Howdy freeze dryers, if you're not freeze drying greens in your freeze dryer, you're really missing out on an untapped potential of the freeze dryer. Freeze dried greens have become part of my daily routine. We add them to smoothies in the morning for breakfast. We also add them to cooking at night or for lunch if we're making a stir fry or pasta or anything like that. It adds flavor. It also adds greens. We like using these freeze dried greens because it's a good way to sneak greens into your food without necessarily having to eat the greens themselves. It doesn't really change the flavor of the food. In fact, a lot of times it adds flavor. And if you have some of those stubborn kids who don't like their vegetables, they'll never know. And that's called parental trickery. So up until recently, we have just freeze dried regular greens, kale, spinach, mustard greens, things like that. And then we powder them into a powder like this. It packs a lot of punch in a small amount of greens, and you can get a whole lot of greens without having to add a whole lot to whatever you're cooking. That was until we figured out about microgreens. Turnips and broccoli and radish, or just baby salad greens. A lot of people will ask, including myself when I first started this, why not just grow the plant until full maturity and eat it like that? There's a whole bunch of reasons. I'm gonna hit the strongest points, I think, and part of the reason why I started growing microgreens. The first one, and maybe the most important thing about microgreens, is that they are highly concentrated. So a small amount will get you 3 to 40 times the amount of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients as a mature plant will in the same species. Second reason, because you use a lot of seeds in a very small area, you can grow these extremely dense and you can grow a lot in a very small area. Third, they're extremely easy to grow. You can grow them in dirt, which is what I have done my first go round. In the future, I'll try and also grow them hydroponically, and you can also grow them aeroponically. And they grow extremely fast. The time from germination until the time that you harvest them is about 10 to 14 days. And I love to garden, but I can't really garden in the winter where I live. These can be grown indoors in the winter. All you need is a full spectrum light, or you can even grow them in a windowsill if you have full sun or mostly full sun throughout the day. And the last benefit I'll go over, other than the ease of growing these, is that it's not expensive to grow them. All you need are seeds. You can buy seeds in bulk that specialize in microgreens like this. You really just need some soil, a couple of these 10 by 20 trays, and some seeds, and a full spectrum light. They're not expensive, and you can grow as many microgreens as you can handle. So normally, once you harvested these would go into a refrigerator, and greens do not last very long in the refrigerator. However, if you can add them to a freeze dryer tray, if you can cover them with a lid, harvest what you need or what is ready, add it to a tray, and then put it into the freezer until you have enough full trays to do an entire load. Lock in all the nutrition of the microgreens until you are ready, and then process it down into a powder just like we normally do with mature greens. And you can more or less make your own AG1. You can make your own blueprint drink, or any of those drinks that are super popular right now that have broccoli, wheatgrass, and pea sprouts. The last benefit I want to touch on microgreens also is they all have a little bit different flavor profile. So you can actually use them not just as a nutrition drink or adding to recipes or whatever. You can use them as a spice as well and still get all those nutritional benefits. So something like radish can add spice to a spicy dish. You can add some salad greens to a vegetable broth. And because you can grow almost anything that you would normally grow in your garden as a microgreen, there are tons and tons of flavor options. If you're interested in growing microgreens, I'll be making a video shortly on freeze-dried seeds, which I'll show you the entire process, freeze drying the seeds, but we will also be growing the microgreens, one freeze dried and one not freeze dried. So you can stay tuned for that. Today we're just going to freeze dry the greens, show you how to harvest them, how they turn out when they're done, and really what you can do with them in the end. So let's get started on that. The sprouts and just about every other microgreen, you just want to trim it as close as you can to where it's growing out of the seed. The most efficient way to get the most on your trays is going to be to take this, throw it in a blender with some water, and make it into a paste and then pour it onto the tray. I'm actually going to just do the sprouts straight onto the tray today. The result will be very similar. You're just not going to be able to get as much as the raw material as if you blended it down into a paste. Super tasty. One thing to be aware of, you probably want to get these into the freeze dryer as fast as possible. because I do think the longer they're in the freezer, I think that the nutrition in them will start to degrade over time. And if you made this into a paste, that may also help after it's frozen to help from the nutrition kind of fading over time. So I have a tray of pea sprouts, I have a tray of wheatgrass, about 5.5 ounces of pea shoots, a total of 3.5 ounces of wheatgrass. I'm gonna put some lids on these while we're cutting the other ones. For our last 3 trays, I'm gonna do some broccoli. I'm gonna add those to these salad greens and turnips. And last we have some radish, which is actually really good. It's full of radish flavor, which you wouldn't expect. So how do you know when your microgreens are ready to harvest? They will get a true leaf on them, and that is the second set of leaves. Once you see that appear, then they're ready to harvest. You don't want to let them go any farther. So you can kind of see some of the true leaves on here. They're just a little bit different like that. They're just a little bit different shape than the first set of leaves. There's our radish. And I'll be adding a lid to all of these. That way we can keep these cold, fresh before we put them in the freeze dryer. Also, so we can compact the loose greens down. Otherwise they would not squeeze in between the freeze dryer shelves. Salad greens, turnips. Let's go get the freeze dryer started. I searched greens on the Harvest Right app. I'll press that. Then you can scroll down to the bottom. You can start with the recommended setup and it will preload all of the settings for you. So if you want to be a serious freeze dryer, you need to do a few things. You need to go to our Facebook group and sign up for our Facebook group. There's an invaluable amount of information on that Facebook group. You of course need to subscribe and like the videos from the freeze drying community. And you also need to check out the Freeze Drying Cookbook, because there is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of recipes to be had in the Freeze Drying Cookbook. And if you don't have a freeze dryer, then you definitely need to check out the link down below for Harvest Right freeze dryers. And now let's get back to the microgreens video. Batch complete. So that took a measly 12 hours to finish. That's great. That means if you had a whole bunch of this to do, you could just kind of move it through. There's probably not going to be a lot of ice buildup either, because we're not really pulling that much water out of these tiny little microgreens. But what we do have is some delicious microgreens, pea sprouts, wheatgrass, turnip really shrunk down to just about nothing. There's that mix of salad greens, and our radish also really just shrunk down. So the big question is, what does this weigh after it's all freeze dried? The 0.5 for the pea shoots, also 0.5 for the wheatgrass. And the rest of these greens, I don't know if they're even gonna weigh enough to register. That one says 0.3, turnips registered at 0.3, radish also registered at 0.3. I think the most relevant measurement is going to be how much powder we produce in the end. Most of the time, I'm gonna grind this down into a powder and use it for an additive for breakfast foods, breakfast smoothies, spices, a topper for soups, things like that, where we mix them into a recipe. However, these are very beneficial in the form that they are in right now. The best way, in my opinion, to use these microgreens is to blend them into a powder. This makes them the easiest way to consume, but they are very fragile in this whole state. The best way to store these, you can vacuum seal them in a Mylar bag with an oxygen absorber. You can also put them in a mason jar. All of the salad greens processed down to 1/4 cup of powder. Turnips also 1/4 cup. Radish, our peas did about 1/3 cup plus another tablespoon. Wheatgrass, 1/2 cup. Results will vary greatly with this powder, just depending on how much you process it down. And imagine how much nutrition is in that little mason jar right there, with about 1.5 cups of powder in it. That was 5 trays worth of microgreens, all compacted down into half of a mason jar. Hey, are you unlocking your full potential as a freeze dryer? If you're not signed up for the freeze drying community email list, you're missing out on pro freeze drying tips and freeze dryer giveaways, the latest sales, inspirational people in the freeze drying community, as well as invaluable food storage recipes. And most important, unlocking your inner freeze drying guru. Click the first link in the description to get signed up.